Okay, so we've taken all of this. You're just going to go and sit there and hold on to that position while we go and claim the rest of the caverns here in the back. The command is almost ready to give up, and then we're going to have to spend quite some time just recovering. But to be fair, we were going to have to spend quite some time just recovering anyway, because of the sheer quality of the debt that we have. Still lagging every once in a while, but still overall stable. I have 0.7% drop frames, so it's not 30%. Do vanilla game techniques work similarly, or have I had to change base strategy? I mean, some differences, like I've gone a lot heavier on the artillery in this playthrough, because Ovdal Kanzon is all about artillery. That's not really that big a change, though. So, no, one of the things I think that this mod has done really well is it reuses a lot of the mechanics which are in base games, so you know how they work, but reuses them in interesting ways, like the colonizing of like your home territories, and just having massive numbers of natives, which are basically the Greentide. I think that's pretty smart. Will I be playing Abandoned Ship anytime soon? I loved it on the stream. Again, if I need like a time sink type thing, then probably. As a regular series, probably not. But it is a pretty nifty game, just as like, I need to spend a bit of time waiting for something to happen. It's good for that. Who declared this war? Me, but I wasn't expecting there to be a goblin tide. I was expecting this to be a quick and easy war, which I could use to pay off the 14,000 debt that I've accrued. Instead, it increased the debt by another, what, 1,000? 1,500? Something like that. Though right now we are making money. I do have some hold restorations to do, but I can only do that in peacetime. Buvari are influencing Tiltgar, that's fine. Right, once we've taken this, they are now on low enthusiasm, that's what I like to see. They do have a big army over here, but I don't think there's any real risk of that fort falling. Okay, so, command. I want these three. Command says no. What's... What forts do you have in the area? That one? Hardly counts as in the area. Alright, if you want me to go and take your capital, I will. Alright then. It's just going to give me more war score. You know what, just go and gang up on their capital. Just make sure it falls quickly. We can go up in Diplo. I see no reason to do that. Can't call those for reasons. Actually, not sure what those reasons are. And there we go, we've taken your capital. Now. There we go. Ah, I'd have to do one more point. Alright, war continues. Black Steppe, equal amongst men. So Black Steppe is just civilized. You forced me to do this, Command. You forced me. And if you want me to go and obliterate your last armies, I will do that too. As I said. You should have just given me my money! Where's my money? Give me my money! Wisdom. First circumnavigation. Our fleet set sail to find a western sea route to the rich cities of the Gulf of Rahen. It took them 99 days to cross the ocean westwards, after which they found the Kimanis Bank, located near the tip of the South Atlantic. The strait was calm, and they were escorted by local fishermen who warned them of the deadly winds of the Kedano Sea. Actually a desert, it seems. But eventually the captain and his crew made their way out to the ocean. The ocean was so calm and deprived of land that the crew thought themselves within the Great Wonder, the event which saw the elves wander the seas for 1,000 years after the Day of the Ashen Skies. They would later recall that it has been here the elves wandered, and named it the Ocean of the Lost. The fleet sea captain died from a wound caused by a poisoned arrow after being mistaken for one of the proto-mechanims of Isyana, possibly due to his shining armour. 2 of the ships survived. One tried to return across the Ocean of the Lost, but was never recovered. The last ship continued west and sailed across the Ulias Lament, rounded the Kadwali coast, and as it arrived in our port, it became the first ship to circumnavigate the globe. Alright. Let's try that again, shall we, Command? There we go. Now you're going to give me my hold back. And you're also going to give me an appropriate amount of recompense. Trying to shortchange me. There we go. See, was that so hard? I mean, the answer is probably yes, but still. Let's go and core. Ooh, that's going to be pricey. Why are you so pricey? Corruption. How big are you? 42. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Well, we'll definitely get that one going and that one. And the Tamimvar breach needs to be done. We'll grab that. Do all except for the last one. Alright, let's send our armies home. So one of you can go and sit up there. One of you can sit in there. One of you can sit there. And then you can head back to the capital to make sure it never falls again. We could take another defensive idea. But we're only 2 years away from Miltech 17. And part of the only thing I think that's keeping me alive against the command right now is our technological superiority. So I think I will wait. Using a poison arrow on a mech. True. Good time zones, Mordred. I see the internet troubles are over. How's it going now? What have I missed? Yeah, so our internet seems to be a heck of a lot more stable now, so hopefully, touch wood, it stays that way. What happened to the capital? It got insta-occupied by rebels. An event spawned the rebels and it also made them in control of the capital straight away. So I'm really hoping I don't need to rebuild this thing. But there is a hold that needs to be restored and I need 50 admin to do it. But I think actually that's probably you. Yes, I mean to repay some loans. We need to. I think I'm going to keep a little bit of money in the bank just in case. So we did have 28 loans. We're now down to 25. Name it Mordred Hold. No, I'm not going to rename the holds because they're all part of like the lore and the history of the game. The roads I can do. The holds I don't want to. Okay, so 20,000 manpower still short, but didn't need to spend any professionalism. So there is that. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have NEMS when you arrive. Managing rebel suppression. In those locations. I'll have you come down to here. You can come and sit over here. And then once you guys arrive in your allocated locations, we'll start you drilling. May as well have you doing something productive. Because I don't think we're going to have any revolt risk down here. We probably will up there, but that's why we have somebody on suppression duties. Okay, so we can do the hold restoration now. Gronstonad. Oh, it was this one. Do it. I'd totally forgotten we had not actually restored this one yet. And yes, we can get dwarf trains, but those are going to be very expensive. So I want to get this taken and cored first, and then we'll worry about the trains. Like, we have a lot of recovery to do right now. This is going to take us some time. Orcs fleeing the country. Good riddance. How goes the restoration of money? Slowly. Merchant effects. Our use of mercantilist policies is proving frustrating for some of the merchants, causing some to deflect to other countries. Mercantilism is right. Mercantilism is definitely the way forwards for us. So what would it cost to do this? Jesperod would start... It would cost me, what, 15 ducats? Jepser, that's over here. $24 days. I want to see what it does before I decide whether to invest money or not. Hobgoblins flee the country. Okay. Empire of Anbennar. Wisdom is in charge again. Oh no, sorry, that's 5 months. It's not 24 days. I misread that. Northern Hold doesn't have a law name. That's true, it is just Anbennar, isn't it? What is my inflation right now? It's actually slightly better than I expected it would be. Do I want to spend this? I think I want to spend this. Drop that below 5. Spare no expenses. Because we do have Bolin Goblin Slayer working on that. Diplo is about to get maxed out. Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and spend a tiny bit of Diplo. I really don't want to spend too much here. That'll do. Oh, was it a 2-year thing? Ugh, okay, that's going to take longer than I really wanted it to. How long is the coring of the new hold going to take? Two years. Yeah, the question is, do I want to spend money getting the railways up and running? Or do I want to spend money paying off the loans? Because our interest right now is 35 ducats. It's a lot. Vassalize the blue nation of dwarves. I suspect they're still too big. Yeah, they are. I do think that paying off the loans is probably the right choice, but if these roads are really only 15 ducats each,
Raiding party!
that's not too bad. Yeah, they really are just 15 ducats each. Lambert coming in with a raiding party. Thank you very much for the raid there, Lord Lambert. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Raiders. Hello, hello, hello. How is your game going? How fares your dwarves? Are you... No, you're not the dwarves anymore. Elves? Is that who you're playing with at the moment? Or were you doing something else entirely? Obsidian dwarves start with an insane number of troops. I know, we fought them. We beat them.
Raiding party!
Whoa, double raid. Zlewick, thank you very much for the raid as well. Welcome to Zlewick's Raiders. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to you all. So, I'm going to go and click a few buttons and then we'll talk about what on earth is going on here and why. Okay, so we seem to be rebuilding all of the roads that we can possibly be rebuilding for the time being. I'm guessing it's the ones immediately around the holds. And then you'll get the next wave, the next wave, the next wave. So I'm not actually spending quite as much money on that as I thought I would be. We can get a debate, which has got to be yearly inflation reduction. It's absolutely got to be. So we'll go ahead and do that. Halsenrod can lose a little bit of that. That's fine. Not losing professionalism. I can lose admin. I'd like to bribe people, because bribing people is fun. Granting, we're a bit low on that, but fine. That's a hold. We're not doing that. I don't really want to lose that. We can do corruption. I need to start paying off corruption as well. What are we at? 80. Fine. Okay. So, hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I'd like to welcome you to this game of Europa Universalis IV. For those of you just joining us, we are playing as Ovdal Kanzad, also known as the Cannon Dwarves. This is the Anbennar mod, which basically frames Europa Universalis as if it were a strategy game. As if it were a strategy game. It is a strategy game. As if it were a fantasy strategy game as opposed to historical. Hence we're playing as dwarves. Then it's got loads of other races, so halflings, humans, elves, gnolls, hobgoblins, goblins, orcs, harpies, centaurs, ogres, and probably about a million other things as well. We've just been clawing our way through a number of really quite serious crises. So first of all, we had a big war against the Command. While the war against the Command was still underway, we got hit by the Horde Curse. The Horde Curse is basically when the dwarves get a little bit too greedy and start going a bit crazy. The end of the Horde Curse left us 12,488 ducats in debt because we basically tried to spend our way through it. We did get rid of the Horde Curse, so we are now fixed. We can now raise as much money as we like without having potential problems in the future. And it did leave us with quite a few powerful modifiers, but it has left our economy in absolute tatters. Then we decided, you know what? The thing that always fixes these problems is a war against the Command. So we again declared war on the Command because we are trying to retake our holds up here in the north. And while we were doing that, we got hit by a goblin tide, which summoned, and I kid you not, probably 300,000 rebels. I would imagine it's about 300,000. We have a standing army of 80,000, with, I think at the time we had about 50,000 manpower left. That's all gone. We are still 11,000 manpower short. They insta-captured the capital as part of the event. So even though I have a level 5 fort here, instantly gone. Level 5 fort with 116% defensiveness. I had expected never to lose this because it's a 90 development behemoth. Lost that. Then all of their uprisings, a bunch of gates started popping up all over the Empire, spawning more of them. Meanwhile, we are still fighting the Command. Bear in mind. So we eventually defeated the Goblin Tide, closed all the gates, beat their general, got rid of that, beat the Command, took another of our holds back. They still hold onto one of the holds, which we also need to grab in the future. We're now coring those new territories. We just spent the 2,000 ducats or so that we got in the peace deal, paying off some of the loan. We're starting to build our railway because we've now discovered what choo-choo trains do. And all of these very straight provinces, these are the old dwarven tunnels, which are actually all connected by rail, but they're all destroyed over time. So we are rebuilding the rail networks. We are slowly but surely building up the economy again, recovering from all of the devastation. We are... Oh, damn, I missed that. Going to go ahead of time in military and in trade, so I can get the money and keep our guns going. Because we are the cannon dwarves, we have a significant number of artillery. In fact, I think exactly half of our army is artillery. Yeah, pretty sure. So 40,000 infantry, 40,000 artillery. And that's because we have some absolutely redonkulous modifiers to artillery damage. So artillery bonus fort versus fort 7, artillery combat 10, artillery cost minus 11, artillery damage from back row plus 35%, artillery fire plus 0.5%. And all of our generals have like plus fire damage, and also we've been getting lucky and they're mostly ruthless, which gives even more fire damage. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. But right now our big thing is going to be recovering with the money. Oh yes, that's true. So while we were having the Horde curse and while we're fighting against the command, the Obsidian invasion also occurred, which attacked my strongest ally, Segilda, splitting them exactly in half, isolating their entire army, and also making me fight about 200,000 other dwarves in the process. So the reason my army was a little bit weakened was because we were fighting the Obsidian Legion while dealing with the Horde curse. So we've really been up against it recently. This sounds like the greatest fantasy story ever. We need a movie about this. I mean, this would definitely be movie worthy. A lot has happened. Wouldn't it be beneficial to say the province that is where you cross from the northern holdings to the rest of my territory? Oh, we have them. So the way that this works is there are actually tunnels that occur underneath. So you can see the dotted line here. There's actually a tunnel connecting Robert Rod to Not a Bad Person Rod. So we have that connection. And that's one of the reasons why I have a fort down here, kind of protecting the entrance. Basically, this is a straight crossing. The mod has repurposed some of the straight crossings to allow you to connect mountain ranges to allow the dwarves to properly move around underground. And yes, I know there's a Splendor available, I'm just not sure what I want to take yet. Because building cheaper ships is completely pointless. Prestige from missionaries is pointless. Trade ship propagation is pointless. War score against other religions? Maybe. Blockade impact on sieges? Pointless. I think I'm probably going to go for the war score cost against other religions, seeing as the command is another religion. Speaking of forts, you need one in the new province. I know. It's currently coring though, and you can't build and core at the same time. Blockade impact actually helps as it's all land forts are created as blockades. Yeah, which is stupid, so I generally refuse to take it just because it's stupid. We are going to have some more uprisings, which is going to be down here. This guy is on autonomous rebel suppression. Not support. That's a different thing. But I think I am going to stop you training right now. Although it's only 16,000. 14 of you can deal with that. It's fine. Get back to training. I want to try and build up my professionalism again. Oh, and the other really impressive thing, during all of this, didn't have to drop my professionalism once. Ashiku, the newest general, is the first to die. Damn it! Let's get a new one. This is going to be Wrong. Ooh, wow, NG, RNG. It was alright. Get back to training. He shot himself, we lose more generals that way, yeah, that's true. There is definitely a little bit of a fragging issue. Oh yes, I can upgrade my non-existent cavalry. Brilliant. So we're going from the Ram Rangers to the improved Ram Rangers. The improved Ram Rangers are more suited for the battlefield, often carrying multiple long muskets to pick off enemies before their infamous charge. That's actually not a bad idea. And we could still expand the capital, but there is no way that we've got money for that. And then paying off the next loan would cost me 511. I don't think I want to do that just yet, because I would very much like to repair this hold once the core is done. I miss our 1086, yeah, Goblin's Bane. Me too. Me too. And I know that we just had a follow, but my follows don't seem to be updating. Huh. Navy Airframer, thank you very much for the Prime resubscription. Very much. Oh, Prime subscription. Welcome to the Maudlings. Totally not a bad person. Wants me to drink some tea. Zukri Myth Meow, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Why not get a few units of cavalry for when I go to war with the above ground nation? Why would I do that? I actually have negatives because I'm a dwarf to cavalry. Dwarven military. Cavalry combat ability minus 20%. Which is entirely proper and appropriate because cavalry suck. Cavalry? Nonsense. Instead of cavalry, what we need to do is more cannons. Oh, that's what you mean by cavalry. You put the horses in the cannon because our cannon are now big enough where they could actually fire horses. That's an interesting choice. Alright, so you beat the uprising. These uprisings are probably not going to trigger. Duran's having a civil war. Alright then. Oh, the other thing I want to start doing, and this is going to put back my efforts to pay off loans a little bit, but I really want to get rid of the corruption. So we want to start investing in paying that off. Unfortunately, this is going to mean that my inflation's going to skyrocket, but paying that off isn't actually too expensive. Isn't our army grand? Cheaper infantry and cavalry. Now, how big is my army at this point? 80 out of 116. That force limit has gone up again. No, 80,000. Well, besides I don't have the manpower for this. It's very easy to forget that the younger races live life to a fuller and quicker pace than ours. Unfortunately, Durin, our 140-year-old Dwarven king, is already a 666. So I think right now we actually need admin power because we are behind in admin. Ooh, this also allows us to get universities. Admin it is. No horses were harmed in the making of the stream. None that we'd admit to anyway. Mastani, are you still colonizing? No, and I would like you to be. In fact, I think Mastanirod could be expanded. Let's get dev cost. And then